What's going on, guys? It's Nick here, back with another video. Today, we're going to be talking about some running backs in bad situations. Some running backs that maybe don't have as much upside as we'd like to see, and if no injuries happen, they just don't have the chance to produce where their ADP is. So we're going to go over, I believe, 5 running backs on this list, and I'm going to talk about why I think we should probably be avoiding them because their fantasy potential just isn't there. So we're going to start off this list with Jordan Howard, now on the Eagles. Remember, he used to be playing for the Chicago Bears, no longer over there on the Philadelphia Eagles. Now his ADP is currently the 6th round. Of course, that's going to change. It's May right now. But right now he's going to the 6th round, and that's a problem because he's going to see this season much less early down work than he's used to seeing. You look at 2016, 252 carries. 2017, 276 carries. Last season, 250 carries. That's a lot of volume with 20 or more receptions in all of those seasons. That's a ton of volume, and it's not going to happen this season. Think back to Eagles running backs in recent years. They don't just line it up with one running back. They've been sprinkling in different running backs, and you look at their depth chart. They've got Smallwood, they've got Clement, they've got Adams, but now they have Sanders. And if you don't know, Miles Sanders is for sure a better running back than Jordan Howard. So you think, okay, well, this could maybe be like a Freeman Coleman role, like on the Falcons, and maybe Howard is like a change of pace back, or maybe, he's the goal line back or something. That's fine and dandy, but Jordan Howard, 100%, will not be third down. And with most leagues shifting to half point and full point PPR, he just doesn't have that opportunity on third downs to get a bunch of touches. So when you become reliant on a bunch of touchdowns, yeah, the Eagles are going to be a good team. But you cannot play a running back where you're reliant on only the touchdowns, because when he doesn't score a touchdown, he's going to be scoring like 3 points. And that has been fine up to this point in his career because he's been the lead back every single year. But Miles Sanders is better than Jordan Howard. So would we be shocked if we see Jordan Howard go out there and get 8 carries a game? Like 6 to 8 carries? That is nowhere near worth a 6th round pick. So terrible situation that he's in right now just because he doesn't have the ability to get onto the field on passing downs. And we know that Miles Sanders is going to eat into that early down work. So he just doesn't have enough opportunity to succeed. We'll move on to Darius Geis, and this one pains me a ton. I loved Darius Geis last season. Thought that he was definitely being undervalued in drafts, and we saw that it was going to come true. Adrian Peterson had a great season last year, and we know that Darius Geis, if he had not torn his ACL, was going to have an incredible season. But fast forward to 2019, and it's just not the same. He's coming off this ACL injury. Unfortunately, he has suffered some setbacks, so he's not 100% yet. We were hoping that he would be, but he's not. And then you look, they gave Adrian Peterson a new deal. They have Chris Thompson. They drafted Bryce Love. And the thing is, I don't expect Bryce Love to be healthy to start the season, right? So early in the season, that's not really a concern. But let's just pretend Bryce Love plays 0 snaps in 2019. Not impossible, but also not entirely likely. He's probably going to come back. Let's pretend he plays 0 snaps. You've got Adrian Peterson coming back. There's no way they sign him to a new deal, and he agrees to a new deal if he's not going to be used. So he's going to be used on early downs. We know Chris Thompson's going to take basically all of the third down work. This is the same situation with Jordan Howard. Darius Geis just doesn't have that opportunity to succeed. And we know early in the season with these setbacks, he might not be 100% as well. You add in Bryce Love. Bryce Love was a great running back before his injury. Bryce Love coming back in the second half of the season, there's too many guys to be worth taking the risk on Darius Geis. Does he have the talent to make this prediction just terrible and have him just crush it this season? Absolutely. He has top 5 running back upside, but that is a insane outlier and something that I just don't think is going to happen this season. Could it happen next year or the year after? Maybe. We'll see how he comes back this season from his injury, but I do not expect him to bounce back just because there's just too many guys surrounding him. I wish they didn't draft Bryce Love. I wish they didn't sign Adrian Peterson back, and I wish he didn't suffer a setback, but those things happened, and we have to take that into account. Next on the list, LeSean McCoy. And you might be thinking, oh, wow, he's still in the league. Yeah, he's still in the league after 2,346 career carries, over 2,800 touches it's catching up to him. You know, he had 3.2 yards per carry last season. He was PFF's 80th ranked running back last season, 110th ranked running back in terms of yards per carry after contact. And look at the backfield. They've got Frank Gore. Never aged Frank Gore. They've got TJ Yeldon, who's, you know, probably the best running back they signed. But then they also have third round pick Devin Singletary. And if it had just been, you know, Yeldon, Gore, McCoy with, like, you know, Marcus Murphy and whatever they have, so the bottom of the depth chart from last season, if it had just been those three, maybe you can take a shot on McCoy. But the fact that they also drafted Devin Singletary in the third round just makes this backfield a mess. And when you add that to the fact that he's clearly on the decline of his career, could he still have an okay season? Has he had a great career? Yes. But not many running backs make it past the 2,000 career carries, and for sure not many make it past this 2,800 touches. He's not going to be efficient this season, and he's going to have to be start worthy at all. So don't be wasting your picks on guys that are clearly at the back half of their career, clearly not going to be efficient, who will need to be efficient to pay off. It's just not a smart pick. You know, he's probably the most overranked running back in the industry right now, but I do expect that ADP to drop, so it's not going to be something that continues into the future. Fourth running back we're going to talk about today is not a single running back. It's an entire backfield. It's the 49ers backfield as a whole. There are just too many running backs, and the word out there is that they're going to be used, and it'll basically be up to us to decide, okay, what's that distribution going to be like? We look at Breida, 5.3 yards per carry last season with an injured ankle for basically the entire season. My guess, and this might be contrarian, I guess. I know I've seen a lot of people, basically what I've seen out there so far is that people think Coleman will be the lead back, McKinnon will be that like third down scat back, and then Breida will be a change of pace back. But I don't know. I don't see it that way. Coleman's contract was not that big, and I feel pretty good saying that Shanahan looks at Coleman like he did the last time he had Tevin Coleman. You know, he's already had him on a team, and we've seen how he's used him. He used Coleman as the change of pace guy, which in general is where he succeeded in his career. When you bring in Coleman for 10 to 12 carries a game, he can be ultra explosive Tevin Coleman that can turn, you know, those 10 to 12 carries into 80 and 2 touchdowns. When you give Coleman 17, 18, 19 carries a game, he starts to break down and he's not as explosive. So I feel like Breida proved to us last season that he's a fantastic running back when he's healthy. Even when he's got an injured ankle, he's a fantastic running back. So I see it being more as Breida's the lead back, McKinnon, third down back, that's basically a guarantee, and that Coleman will be the change of pace. We also know that they're going to run it a ton. They ran it a ton last season. They had a ton of success running it last season. But the problem is, that's fine if there are just two. You know, if you just had a lead back and a third down back, you can draft them. But they're all going in like the mid-range of drafts. And for there to be a situation where we're going to see one get like 14 carries, one get 10, and one get, you know, like 2 or 3 with some receptions, they're all just going to eat into each other. And unless someone gets hurt again, none of them are going to be able to start. Will they have upside? You know, does one of them have the chance to break out if there's an injury? Sure. But until that injury happens, you can't be wasting a mid-round pick. You can waste a late-round pick, but this is not a good situation for running backs. So if all of their ADPs remain in the mid-rounds, you got to just avoid. You got to take someone with more upside and more of a chance to contribute to your team if there isn't an injury. So kind of a fade on the backfield for me, unless there's an injury, but it's just not a good situation in general. And the last situation that we're kind of looking to avoid is probably the one that pains me the most. Darius Geis paid me a lot, but my boy Rex Burkhead, love him. Just absolutely love him from a football perspective. You guys know I'm a Patriots fan. Love to do his game. I was super excited when they signed him. The problem is Sonny Michel is the clear number one running back, right? James White is the clear third down back. And Harris was brought in really to be the Burkhead replacement, at least long term. Maybe not right now, but long term, he's their replacement. You know, his skill set kind of fits with Sonny Michel, but he was brought in there when Sonny Michel needs a break. When it's not on third down, you bring in Damian Harris. And you add all those things in. where's the volume for Burkhead? You know, you can't be drafting the running back 4 on a team. Like, is he going to be kept? Probably. I don't think past this season. You know, he's turning 29. That's not too old for a running back, but, you know, it's outside that ideal range. He's also struggled to stay healthy. So when you're looking at where he's going, you're like, oh, well, he's not going that late. It doesn't cost a ton. Yeah, but, like, here's the thing. With those late picks you guys hear me talk about all the time, I want upside. I want someone who can win me the championship. And that's not Rex Burkhead, because let's say Sonny Michel gets hurt. Well, now Damian Harris steps up. And it's still Damian Harris, James White, and you still kind of can't start Rex Burkhead. And you're like, all right, well, maybe Damian Harris and Sonny Michel get hurt. And it's like, okay, well, if my late round pick needs multiple injuries to be potentially start worthy, I'm not drafting them. I want someone who can either take over by themselves or only needs one injury. Rex Burkhead just needs too much. So it's a no for me on Rex Burkhead this season, which is very painful, but it's just not a good situation. So I'll run through them one more time just to remind you guys. Basically, it's Jordan Howard, Darius Geis, and the Coleman, Braid, and McKinnon. All those guys, there's just too many other running backs that just makes the situation a little bit too murky, and there's too much risk involved with all those players that it's just not worth drafting. LeSean McCoy, back half of his career, too many guys around him. He needs efficiency to pay off, and it's just not going to happen this season. And then Rex Burkhead just has, you know, an insane amount of talent ahead of him. And even if there's one injury, there's not enough volume for him to pay off for fantasy. So that is the end of this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, how about we hit that like button? How about we subscribe if we're new? And thanks for watching.